All right, welcome everybody. Welcome to Entrepreneurs International Network. My name is Becky Askerland and I am the organizer here. I am very excited for our speaker today. Each week, we bring speakers that we know and collaborate with to bring some kind of valuable message and training here in this space. And I appreciate each one of you taking the time for our amazing expert. Today we have Tyler Watson. Tyler helps entrepreneurs crush resistance and creative massive results without sacrificing family, health, or freedom. Creator of the Cellular Alignment Technique, he rewires high performers to thrive in business and life without limits, without burnout or limits. I would love to bring on Tyler for you at this time. To
All right.
spotlight Tyler, thank you so
Cool.
much for joining us today.
Yeah. Hey guys, welcome. My name's Tyler Watson. I'm excited to dive in. Yeah, do we just go
Yeah,
for
I'll
it?
remove myself, but it's all yours. Go for it.
Okay. Well, welcome everyone. So my name's Tyler Watson. I'm going to give a little bit of insight of who I am. I know I look like I'm 12 years old, but I'm a little older than that. And I'm going to share some context of how I've created multiple millions of dollars while still thriving in my family life and overcoming a lot of the obstacles along the way. So today's topic is actually on speaking. How many here have a something that you're selling to someone else? Just go ahead and drop in the chat, be like me, or raise your hand. Okay, so you're selling a product or a service to someone else. And that's important because if you're not maximizing how much you're selling, then something's off. And oftentimes we turn to marketing. We're thinking, hey, I just need more leads. And that's always where we go to, is outside of ourselves. And that's what I used to do as well. And what I've learned over the 11 years of coaching now is that there's a really cool secret that I've developed, that if you can rewire not your brain, so we're not talking subconscious stuff, beyond that, it's called cellular conscious. Did you know that you can actually be allergic to success and addicted to struggle? Literally, the thing that you're working toward, your body can actually push it away, create self-sabotage patterns that don't serve you, and hold on to non-ideal things that are not serving you as well. And if you can get into a state of alignment and choice, you can get there as fast as humanly possible. So I'm really excited to dive in. And Emily says, I've literally seen this. Thank you for saying it. I've seen that in other people. Yeah. So we're actually going to talk about this. And this is what I've been sharing with people all over the world. In fact, earlier this year, I was on a stage of over 5,000 people, one of the biggest stages that I've been on, and teaching the philosophy of fight, flight responses and how to shift them in minutes. And through these processes, I've helped people hit their first $1 million a year, to hitting their first six-figure month, to helping them get booked on other stages, to helping them get out of their way, to finally getting their marriage on board, to getting rid of cataracts in their eyes, like crazy stuff, from gluten allergies to anything physical, mental, emotional. It's going to sound too good to be true. You're going to be like, what is this? There's no way it could work. Yet what I'm going to share with you deals with your body and how your body reacts to resistance, and how you can change that literally in minutes. Is that cool? You guys want to learn some fun stuff today to speed up your results? If so, drop in the chat and say I. Yeah, we got some people excited. I can tell some of you are like, yeah, whatever. Some of you might be like, let's go. All right, sweet. We got I. Okay. All right, little context. Tyler Watson here. I grew up in a very tiny town of Green Forest, Arkansas. And through that, my dad's what's called a clinical kinesiologist. My stepmom is a naturopath. And I was studying to become a doctor of natural medicine. Now, through growing up, my parents separated, like a lot of people do, and it caused me to react a certain way that was not ideal. When I was 12, my parents separated, and I watched my mom go through 6 more divorces, my dad through another 2 more, and I turned to things and I hid through a lot of shame and a lot of guilt. I felt like I was responsible, that I was supposed to save their marriage. And before I learned all these, I turned to depression, to suicidal tendencies, to pornography addictions, to video game addictions, a lot of self-sabotaging patterns that I thought were cycles that I couldn't break, that defined me. And no matter how much I changed my habits, my willpower, trying to change my mindset, reading tons of books, and literally investing over $1 million in my personal development, I couldn't figure out how to change. And yet I knew there had to be a faster, simpler way. And through that, I ended up meeting my wife, who is phenomenal. She and I, we have 4 kiddos from the age of 10 all the way down to 1.5 years, which we just have our three older girls and a baby boy. So we're super stoked about that. Anybody have kiddos? If you have kids, raise your hand. Yeah. If you are a kid, have a kid before, were a kid, raise your hand. Got it. I love it. Awesome. Okay. So we've been around kids. We've seen it. And sometimes it's hard work, growing businesses, growing families, trying to balance health, wealth, relationships. And I watched my parents do really good in their craft, but suck at relationships and really suck at finances. And yet I wanted to have it all. I wanted to have wealth. I wanted to have relationships. I wanted to have the physical health as well. How many here are one of those who you're like, I want it all? Like, I literally believe that I'm here on this planet to have it all. How many believe that? You're not here to just struggle and at the end of your life be like, well, that sucked. Like, I didn't fulfill my mission. No, we're here to be like, I can fulfill my mission and I'm here to expand. I'm here to have too much, have it all. And that's the type of people I serve. So through that, I developed a process, going through the depression, the suicidal tendencies, working on myself relentlessly, going through over 650 different processes. I just gave a TEDx talk on this about how resistance is the key to your success. And once you know how to find the resistance and literally change it within minutes, you can present yourself. You can sell 10 to 20 times more than you'll ever think possible. And this is what took me from literally making less than $13,000 a year as a broke, massage, starving therapist to making 6 figures in 7 months, more than tripling that over the next year, and hitting multiple millions of dollars year after year after year. And I say that not to be like, good job, Tyler, but I am proud of that. It's something that I worked through. I worked really hard on myself, but I work harder on myself than I do on my business. I work harder in my marriage than I do on my business. I work harder with my kids because true success is about thriving in all areas of life. Working with top athletes, with people who are making billions of dollars, some of them millions and some of them trying to get to the $1 million mark, I find patterns in people. And the pattern is stored in the body. The pattern defines us, but it doesn't have to just define you. It's there to refine you. And I'm going to share with you a few principles that by the time you're done, if we have time, I can even take someone through and I'll coach you and I'll even take you through the process to help you have a shift literally in minutes. And I charge over $5,000 per session. So if you guys would like to break through something, it could be really powerful. And this might be a very pivotal point in your life. Who here knows you should be further ahead in your business? By show of hand. You feel like something's taking longer than it should. Yeah? Anybody in that space? Okay. So if you're in that space, here's why. I'm going to share with you a formula. This is called the unstoppable formula. The U represents the speed at which you attain your goals. Okay? So what's the U represent? Speed at which you attain your goals. So right now, I want you all to think about a goal that you're focused on over the next 30 days. What's the big goal that you're focused on? Go ahead and put it in the chat. One goal that you're focused on. Could be a health goal, relationship goal, business goal, but specific. So think about a specific attainable goal. What is your 30-day goal that you're going toward over the next 30 days that it'd be awesome to hit, but it's a stretch? So Jasper signed my first 2 clients at $2K each. Boom. I love that goal. Yeah. Your first 2 are always the hardest. Then it gets better and better because you get better at it. Awesome. Start making real side gig income, even 1K. Good. 10 new clients this month. Okay. Recruit people for direct sales business. Love it. Okay. And even specific, get specific. Like, how many people in the next month do you want to recruit? Okay. 10 new clients this month. Okay. Transportation. Okay. Based on this goal, the speed at which you attain this is dictated. Most philosophies teach this, that your skills amplify your work plus your focus. So you have skill sets. Each of these require skill sets. Getting 2K clients, right? First, you have to know, what's the problem I solve? What's the solution I provide? What's the benefits to that? What is the tool or process? How do I put that into a system? How do I communicate that system in a way where my client says, this is for me, bridging the gap between where they are and where they want to go? Then helping them see the big vision, getting them into the obstacles, helping them see how much the obstacle is costing them and the cost of inaction versus cost of action, seeing what they've tried, being able to say, hey, yes, you can do this, diffusing any objections of time, money, and things that haven't worked, then showing them your offer, then getting them to pay, then fulfill it. Like, that's a skill set, right? That's what I learned for 5 years, teaching for Ted McGrath and Les Brown and pitching high ticket sales, selling literally like $60,000 from stages, going through a skill set. So it's a skill set to enroll people, right? The work is critical too. How many here are hard workers? By show of hand, you're putting in the work. You're doing what your coaches are saying, right? You're here. You're putting in work. And your mindset, you're focused, right? You're thinking positive. You're trying to really stay focused on that goal. And that's what I was taught. If you have a skill set, you improve it consistently, you work really hard and you focus, and don't quit, you're going to get your goal. Anyone heard this philosophy before? You're like, just keep trying, don't give up. You'll make it. So the equation to frustration is this. Frustration is equals faulty philosophy plus hard work. So frustration, if you're ever frustrated, it's because you're putting in a lot of hard work with a faulty philosophy. That's what causes frustration. So I was frustrated when I was trying to grow my business and I was trying to speak on stages and I was trying to get my message out and I was trying to just be successful. I felt frustration because I was putting in 100 amount of effort and energy up here, but I was getting out like 10 or no results at all. And I felt very frustrated following this philosophy. What I didn't realize is that underneath this equation is this. Allergies and addictions. The two forms of resistances that keep you from getting your goals. And these aren't like food allergies or addictions to like, drugs, although you can be the same form. You can be addicted to $10,000 a month. You can be addicted to $100 a month. You can be addicted to $1,000 a month. They're called thresholds. And people talk about the ceilings that you put on yourself. You can literally be addicted to certain income brackets. You can be addicted to self-sabotage, to relationships that ruin your trust, that hurt you. You can be addicted to those patterns. You can be addicted to almost getting your goal and falling short. You can be addicted to finding all the right prospects, but no one signs up. You can be addicted to anything that's non-ideal. That's an addiction. It's stored in the body, not in the mind. And I'll go deeper into this. The second thing is an allergy. So to every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. To every addiction, which is a holding on to something that's non-ideal, there's actually an allergic response of equal and opposite energy. So if I'm addicted to, let's say my old self addicted to $1,000 a month, I could be simultaneously allergic to 2K, 5K, 10K was my goal back then. I wanted to hit 10K months because that seemed cool back then. And I was like, ooh, I've never done that. That's like my whole annual income. And I didn't realize that part of me was allergic to that idea. Literally having the same responses that you have during a bee sting. during a food reaction. You can have reactions to ideas, concepts, and thoughts. It's crazy. Why do people create exhaustion in your life? Well, why are people overwhelmed? Why are there so many thyroid problems? Why are there so many adrenal fatigue? People think because it's, oh, the food, the food, the food. I look at it differently. And I see, no, it's because you're in a constant fight-flight response, a push-pull based upon the goals that you set. Two forms of resistances that rob you from what you want. So you could be putting in 100 amount of energy and effort. But if you have just 10 of these suckers, which most of us have a lot more, you'll be putting in 100 amount of effort and only getting 10 out. And you won't hit your monthly goal. And you'll be wondering, man, why am I not where I want to be? Well, you can stop wondering, and now you know. Oh, it's actually because I have an addiction to something non-ideal and an allergic response to something that's ideal. So as you're going to learn this, and hopefully this isn't a new concept. How many is this kind of a new concept? Might be, because not a whole lot of people teach this. What you can do is, in a state of alignment, which I'm going to teach you the cellular alignment technique, can rewire your entire body consciously within minutes to get out of these fight-flight responses and go get your goal as fast as humanly possible. It's crazy sauce. It's going to seem too good to be true. You're going to be like, there's no way this could happen. And yet, the proof's in the pudding. So we're going to show you, and I would like the non-believers because they're the most fun to shift. Because it doesn't require belief. That's the thing. Belief is simply an addiction. Non-belief is an addiction. If you have so much evidence that things have to be hard, that it can't be this easy, it's because you've been trained and you've literally become addicted to that pattern, that nothing works for me. It has to be hard. I can't do this. And that is an addiction in your body. And when you know how to change it, you can change it in minutes. All right, let's see what we got. Shifting 4 lives, financial future, just somewhat familiar, but new words hit a new way. Okay, good. Sweet. So this is the equation that we're going to be basing this off of. Now, we're writing our 3rd book. And what we're doing, it's called Allergic to Success and Addicted to Struggle, Allergic to Success. And I'm in Russell Brunson's world. I don't know if you know of him, but he's a really awesome dude. Look him up. He owns ClickFunnels, billion-dollar company. And I work with elite entrepreneurs all over the world. And one of the things that I find is that as an entrepreneur, no matter if you're selling real estate, products, services, doesn't matter. If you're stuck or you're feeling like things should be further ahead, 100% of the time, there is a fight-flight response in your body that you have just started to cope with. You just think it has to be there. And it feels natural. It might be you feel tired. It might be you feel like you're kind of burnt out. It might feel like people just don't connect or take a long time to decide. Those are addictions in the forms of feelings and thoughts that are actually dictating your current reality. And as you shift these, it lets go of the pattern and allows you to be at full choice so that you can create what you want. For example, I took Doug through this, who I'm going to take somebody through if you guys want a sample of it. And Doug, he was stuck at trying to hit his 6-figure months. So he was a coach. He was trying to hit that 6-figure month. And every time he'd get close, something would happen and he couldn't hit that 6-figure month. After aligning, getting into a state of alignment where he's not in a fight-flight anymore, he was able to go from, literally it took him it was 1 weekend, made his first 6-figure weekend just through shifting how he shows up. I took a chiropractor through this where he was stuck at 30K trying to get to 60K for 2 years, trying to go in circles, doing all the right things, the marketing, changing the skill set, but something was off. It was almost as if it just felt like he couldn't get it. Something was blocking him. People say, oh, it must be a money block. It's not a money block. It's an addiction. And as he tuned into it and he aligned, he literally hit his first 60K month in 2 weeks. And I thought, this is crazy. So how this all started was actually with a gluten allergy with my wife. And I became obsessed with allergies and addictions, fight-flight responses, pushes and pulls in the body, how the body responds. And if she'd eat gluten, she'd get super bloated. This was like 8 years of symptoms going on, and she couldn't eat gluten. And so I started to study 10 different processes really hit home, but they would only work with certain things and certain people. When I tried them on other people, it didn't work. And I had this download in the middle of the night. I'm a God believer, and I believe it was just in the middle of the night, like, boom, hit me. I was like, holy cow. The only reason my wife would be allergic to gluten is if some cell in her body is actually addicted to the symptom of what gluten's causing and allergic to what she actually wants, which in that instance, it wanted to just be digested and natural and normal. And no matter what I tried, nothing would work. So I compiled this technique, and it looks similar to about 6, 7 different techniques that you might be familiar with. And I compiled it and put it into a strategic way that I tried on her the next day. And within an hour after we were done, the first thing she said is, I want to eat some toast. I want some pizza. And she literally ate pizza and toast and had no reactions. And it's been over 6 years now. And so then we tried it with a lot of crazy stuff, like people anaphylactic shock with peanuts. We had a kid who couldn't sit next to kids in the cafeteria because he was so allergic to peanuts. If some kid had peanut butter on a sandwich, he couldn't sit with them. So after aligning, he was literally down in peanut butter. I was like, what? This is crazy. So if it works good with food and everything has a frequency to it, what about with money? So then I tried it with money. And so we started doing it with money. And it's very word specific. So it's how your body shows up, how it responds, which dictates your body language, which dictates how you hold yourself. And that is the message that you're sending towards the people that are making deals with you. How many know how you feel impacts how people respond to you? By show of hand. Anybody? Nope. You're like, nah. Well, good luck with that philosophy, right? If you feel in a low state and you're not motivated, does your business grow? No. If you feel super motivated and you're like, dude, this is the best thing since sliced bread, and you're so stoked and you're like excited and high level energy, guess what? Do sales increase? Yes, they do. Why? Because energy, emotion is energy in motion. Most people are walking zombies because we're so addicted and allergic to where you're stuck that you've just accepted it as a reality and that it has to be that way. One of my missions is to show that how you are is not how you're destined to be. And you can change it in minutes. I went through the depression, the suicidal tendencies. I know what it's like to be in poverty, having less than 49 cents in my bank account. But I also know what it's like to change that drastically and consistently to where it's real and lasting. And I believe I'm put on this planet to help people make that shift. And I believe every single person here has some gift, something inside of you that needs to help someone else. I truly believe that. So I went through this and I started doing it on money. And I worked on myself first because I'm my first victim. I'm like, let's try this. So I do the technique on myself, and it's tapping, breathing, smiling. It's a weird technique. And I did it, and I was like, I did it on very word specific because the words are the trigger, and the trigger is the transformation. So this is a key concept. The trigger is the transformation. Any trigger in your life is given to you to help you transform to the next level. That's the purpose of a trigger. When you know how to transform it, it becomes a superpower. So I look for triggers. Triggers are awesome. I used to hate triggers because I didn't know what to do with them. Now I love triggers. Triggers in my marriage, triggers with my kids, triggers in my business. Any type of thing that I feel a non-ideal reaction happen is an opportunity waiting to be had. And when you shift it, a new level of result comes in. So cool. It's so freaking cool. All right. So I went through, did it on, I have people reach out to me and pay in full for my services who I haven't marketed to. It's a very specific phrase. I aligned to it, meaning part of my body was allergic to that idea. Part of my body was addicted to, I have to work hard and I have to market. I have to get that to be the result. After aligning, I had 4 people reach out that turned into $8,000 in sales through like LinkedIn and Facebook and weird platforms that I never used. And I thought, this is either a really cool placebo, and if so, just keep it placeboing, like this is great, or there's something here. And so then I did it on the chiropractor. Then I did it on Doug. And then I kept doing it on other people. And they got similar results. A coach who was trying to bring in more clientele had 10 new clients in 1 week, where that was normally over the span of 3 months. And I thought, this is something different. What about with relationships, right? Because the only reason someone would struggle with anything is if some part of their body's addicted to that thing and allergic to what they want. That's it. That was the whole philosophy. And I did it on relationships. Helped Kiana, multimillionaire, but she was on the verge of divorce. After aligning, going through these processes, literally in the best marriage she's had, and her business is still thriving, and she's feeling like a rock star mom. So it's not just about getting one result, it's about balanced result. Does that make sense? Right? Most people will put a lot of energy into something to lose something else. But it's not about that. That's if you have a fight-flight response. All right. So then we went through that, and then the final piece was this guy named Craig. And then I want to get into the process here, if you guys are down for it. I want to teach you some body language pieces so that when you're going and presenting, if you're on a sales call, how to maximize the potential to increase your sales, okay? This took me from literally going from a place of making nothing to having a weekend where I did over $250,000 in a weekend. So curious, how many would love to have like a $250,000 weekend? Like that would be super fun, right? Yeah. And guess what? Take home. So it's not just because a lot of people say, oh yeah, I brought in this, but our profit is really freaking good because of what I've created. And I know that a lot of people spend a lot more than they make. So that also is an addiction. So what if you could get into a state where you could have what you really want, and you could believe it, and you could fully own it, and it didn't depend on any system outside of you? What could you do? You'd be unstoppable. You could create what you want no matter what. So the final piece was actually this guy named Craig. He had had a cardiac arrest due to stress. He was a serial entrepreneur. He was a multi six-figure earner, but he was stressed, working it hard. Good hard worker, doing the top of the equation, skills, work, focus. And his wife was like this master energy healer person for 20 years. He had a cardiac arrest where his symptoms were if he walked and looked left or right, he'd fall over. If he could only function 4 hours a day, and he had to wear sunglasses and earplugs. So he went, saw neurosurgeons, like all sorts of stuff in Western, Eastern medicine, and tried everything. Then I connected with him and I said, well, the only reason you would have those symptoms is why? According to my philosophy, what? Part of you is addicted to those symptoms and allergic to what you want. So I wanted to test it. And I said, you know what? I don't know if this theory is true for everything, but it's worked so far. So we did an alignment on him using the cellular alignment technique, got him through the process. And he called me back about 4 or 5 days later, and he just starts crying on the phone. He's like, Tyler, you're not going to believe this. I am functioning over 8 hours a day. I can look left and right going on walks. I don't fall over. I can go out with my wife. I don't wear sunglasses anymore or earplugs. And that's when I pivoted to teach and do this full time. I knew there was something different. This is not just another technique. It's a process that literally helps you rewire your entire identity so that past patterns end and new patterns form. It doesn't take 30 days, 60, 90. It takes minutes, which is crazy sauce. So, all right, let's see what we got. I would just love to hear a few takeaways so far. What are some ahas? What are you guys getting from this? Is this landing? Is this resonating? Do you guys want to learn some of this? Do you want to learn more? Is this like something you don't want to learn? Let me know. Okay, Catherine, teach me. Feel like constantly stressed, living in fight or flight. Yeah, totally. Okay, what else? We got other insights since childhood. Yeah, and it's just a pattern, right? Once you understand this, it's not an identity anymore. Even if you've lived with it for 20, 40, 80 years, it can be changed literally within minutes or hours. Anyone else interested in learning? Go ahead and drop in the chat. Let me see what you got. Or takeaways. from what I've shared so far? Jasper says, yes, teach please, been in survival for more than a year now. Okay. Fight mode all my life. Yeah. Okay. You're going to relate. Balance. Good. Know it works. Would love seeing an example of your process. Okay. Okay. Well, let's take somebody through. So there's 17 variations to this that I've created. And this is going to be really cool. It's a very fast process. It's powerful. It's deep. And I want to take somebody through virtually. We do this at our retreats. We're in person. It's like 100 times more intense than this. But for this, I want to take somebody through a real fast breakthrough to experience it. And then if you guys want to learn more, I'm going to give you my book so that you can start to learn about this. Okay. Because the most important thing is get educated. This is a new language. You're going to resist based on what you already know. And it's like this. You might be driving a vehicle right now, going as fast as possible, right? Some of you are in Fords, some of you are in Ferraris and, going as fast as you can. But you're hitting a limit and you're feeling that maybe something's off, like your tires are out of alignment and yet you're still pedal to the metal. But if your tires are bent, you're putting in too much energy, right? You're fighting yourself. And that's what being out of alignment is. If you have an allergy or an addiction, a fight-flight response happening in your body, you're literally wasting energy as you go get your goal. And the moment you set a goal, so let's say this represents your goal, the moment you set a goal, resistance kicks in. As you set a goal, that's why we set goals. I don't set goals to attain goals. I set goals to create resistance, to help me shift, to become who I want to be, so that I can have more, do more, and be more. So I have a goal. You set that goal. Boom. Here you are. And as soon as that goal's set, you're going to have action steps to create it. Some of them are clear. Some of them are vague. You're like, I don't know what I don't know. But you know that it's possible, right? How many have ever set a goal? You know it's possible, but you don't know how. You ever had that where you're like, I know it's possible. If I'm in the right state, I get the right teacher, I could do it, but I don't know quite how. So you have this vague path, but it's an idea of here's where I want to go. The moment you take an action step, you move towards something, there's resistance 3 places: before, during, and after. This is 3 opportunities to transform. I love resistance. Resistance is the key. If I have resistance before the action, so let's say somebody who's, let's pick somebody's goal here. What was a cool goal? 10 new client. Let's do a specific one at the 2K. That was a good specific one. Sign up 2 clients at 2K each, right? So let's say that's the goal, specific goal. Sign up 2 clients at 2K each. First action step. Well, maybe we need to go actually create a package if that's not done. Maybe that's already done. Then next skill set is, okay, now I need to go network or talk or market, right? You're going to have resistance before doing that action. Maybe I got to go market. Oh, now I don't know how. These patterns are going to come up. You're going to have feelings of doubt, uncertainty. Many people deem these as limiting beliefs, but they're way beyond a limiting belief. It's actually an addiction in an analogy. And so you have these addictions to non-ideals of, oh, this is going to be hard. I can't do it. I don't know how. And resistance towards the ideal, which is the allergy. Oh, this could be easy. I actually do know. I'm certain in my messaging. During the action, so maybe you go network, in the moment you're doing it, and then you feel out of place. You feel like you're not the right person. You don't feel like you belong. Imposter syndrome. Those are all just fight-flight responses. And then you finish it looking back. This happens especially with high-level athletes. After your performance, resistance. I didn't do it good enough. Man, I should have done it this way. Each one of these are opportunities for transformation because each of these are simple triggers that are happening in your body where you'll feel the heaviness. So if you're trying to present, if you're on a phone call, before, during, and after, become conscious of this. If you get anything from today, at very least, get conscious that you have resistance before, during, and after every action step towards your goal. And if you can get conscious of it, now we can talk about changing it using this technique. But you shift, and when you shift this, you become the person capable of getting to the next level to handle the next set of problems. Now you do this and this and this, and you get your goal as fast as possible. That's how you do it, by working through the resistance. The resistance is the way, the trigger is the transformation. So this is how you create speed. How many like to get your goals fast? Yes? If so, say yes. Yes. Okay. Speed is key. So I'm going to take somebody through an alignment process. You're going to think this is like emotional freedom technique, tapping. You're going to label it as like a bunch of other things. It's not that. Although I did have 10,000 hours or plus in those things, it's not that. It's all about tuning into the trigger, creating a response to counter the trigger, and getting your state into a successful state. Okay? So it's going to look familiar to some of you, but I'm going to encourage you not to label it, because we've seen just from these basic versions, complete life changes, from kicking cigarette smoking in less than 15 minutes to hitting your first 6 figures with a 15-minute session, like insane sauce, insane crazy stuff. So just because it's fast, just because it's simple, don't take it for granted. Will you guys agree to that? Can you be down for that? Yeah? Okay. It's fast and simple. And I'm going to do it on one of you so you guys can learn a little bit. And if you have time, I'll share with you guys. But can we drop the link just in case I run out of time? How many would like to learn more about some of the theory behind this, some of the journey, like how it evolved, how you can apply it in your life to get success faster? Okay. I created a free digital copy for you guys, The Alignment Effect. So you can just grab that. And now you can grab my book for free. So if it's easy to read, it's easy not to read. So take time just to read it. This will completely alter your life. Okay. And crazy stuff like chapter 11, 10 things you need to know to move at lightning speed and what the doctors couldn't believe. Like crazy stuff happens. So be sure you read it. Okay. So grab that. And then who has a goal that you have resistance towards, feels like you're stuck, and it's heavy. It's like really triggering. Could be towards a relationship, health, financial. If you have a goal that you would like to move through the resistance, raise your hand. I'm going to pick between someone, and I want to pick somebody who's going to help everybody shift, because you're all going to have a shift by just experiencing this. So we've got a couple people. Raise your hands. We've got Donna, Catherine. Okay, anyone else? Let's see. Just want to make sure everybody who'd like to get. We got. Okay. So out of Donna and Catherine, go ahead and James and Albert, go ahead and put your goals in the chat so I can see what they are. What's your specific goals? And based on the goal, I'm going to take one of you, and it's going to be a lot of fun. And Jasper, yeah, go ahead and put your goal in the chat so I can see what specific goal you're working on. Okay, we got stop being lazy, 10 new clients next month with ease. Okay. Procrastination, got it. Been lazy. Okay. Goal to make 5K a month. Okay. Let's do one on putting things off and procrastinating, because that can be a big one for a lot of people. So let's see. Catherine. Let's do Catherine. Okay. Give Catherine a huge round of applause. Awesome. 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 Okay. Catherine, can you unmute or can we let her unmute?
Hello.
Hey, Catherine. Okay. So, Catherine, tell me a little bit about this pattern. What's going on? Like, what are you trying to work toward, and what's the pattern?
The pattern is like staying in the chaos and feeling overwhelmed.
Okay.
So like I'm feeling, oh my gosh, I'm feeling emotional right now
Yeah,
even.
it's because your body is ready to, it knows it's going to have an identity shift, which means it feels threatened, and that's okay. It's like,
Yeah, no,
oh
it's
my
really
gosh, something big's going to happen. Yeah.
Yeah, literally, like this is my to-do list, and it's like life, legal, finance. And I work in the financial field. I do help people, but I do not reach out as much as I could. And I do not, I just feel like I just don't know where to start. Like I just feel that overwhelm is what kind of consumes me more, that
Okay.
procrastination, that overwhelm.
And do you feel like there's certain thing, like if you had a specific thing you're going toward, or is it just everything? Is there like a one specific thing that you're like, man, I'm really procrastinating going towards this specific goal?
Um, it is pretty much everything, but I would say like more of my focus is like getting my financials. I just left my ex, and now I'm like fully financial for my son and I. And it's like the impending deep like wound that's inside of me of
Yeah.
like being a single mom and
Yeah.
like having to make money to get by.
Yeah. Can we first just acknowledge her for being vulnerable and share, like, thank you for being on here, because I know it's not easy going through all this. But here's a can we all just hold the space while I help her? Right? High levels of respect, no judgment. Let's get her have a huge shift. Is that cool? We down for that? Okay. Sweet. So Catherine's gonna have an amazing shift today. It's gonna help everyone here. And then I'm excited for you, Catherine. So kudos first off for being on here and being willing to be vulnerable. That's the
Thank
number one
you.
thing. Yeah. So let's go through this. So I'm going to take you through a process. I'm going to have you tap and breathe and smile. It's going to seem weird, yet it's going to work. And you're going to be like, what the heck just happened? And it's going to be freaking amazing. So think about all the overwhelm. 10 is an ideal state. 10, you feel like you're on your game as a mom. You got your finance, you can do it. Like it's certainty. 10 feels so good. You're empowered. You could organize things. You just feel capable to crush it. That's a 10. Okay. 0 is, holy crap, I'm running around in circles like a chicken with my head cut off, and I want to go hide under my covers and never see anybody. And I want to turn the Zoom off right now because I'm freaking scared. Like that's a 0. Where would you put yourself?
Um, I feel like I'm more at like a 3 to 4, I guess.
Yeah. So 3 or 4. So here's what I want you to do. Tune into your body. So this is where the actual physical response is happening. Where do you feel that 3 or 4 being manifested at?
Like I feel it in a few spots. So I feel it in my head, my heart, and my stomach.
Good. So tune into head, heart, and stomach. And if one had more amplified motion, which one would it be?
So I'm
Just tune
feeling
in. Yeah.
the feelings of like procrastination and the overwhelm is it's kind of between my heart and my head.
Beautiful. So heart and head. So tune in right here. Okay. If this had a color to it, all that resistance between your heart and head and all this procrastination, what color would that represent?
I'm coming out with like a blue.
Okay. Tune into that blue, and I want you to ask it a question. I just want you to ask it almost as if it's on its own person. Just ask it, what do you want? And what does it say?
To do it right, I guess.
Yeah. And if it did it right, what color would that be?
Green or yellow.
Okay. So I want you to just imagine that the green and yellow, just imagine in your mind's eye, surround this area with green and yellow, give it permission to do it right. Surround that blue resistance with the green of doing it right. And imagine it's there. Imagine it's just flowing in. And imagine there's a little knob on it, and just crank it up to a 3, 4, 5, like amplify that green. Give it permission to do it completely right. Like it's so right that it couldn't be any more right because it's too right. And give it so much of an extreme, and let me know when you're done.
think it's closer to being done. It's more yellow.
Okay. So just tap right here and repeat after me. And then we're going to do the alignment process. So this is where you're going to need to follow me really close. Okay. So I want you just to vocalize this. Repeat after me. I can do it right.
I can do it right
Or not.
or not.
I can still get what I want.
I can still get what I want
As a mom.
as a mom.
And provide for my child.
And provide for my child.
And I'm safe and competent to do so.
And safe and competent to do so.
Good. Now, while tapping, we're going to align. So this is where the actual shifting is going to happen. You're going to tap on the forehead down to the back of the neck while breathing in through the nose. Now out through the mouth. Same tapping motion. We're going to do this 3 times. In, out. That's 2. Out. That's 3. Now keep tapping and we're going to pant. Keep tapping. That's 1. That's 2. That's 3. And smile. Okay. That's the basics of this process. So now, tune in, re-rate it. 10's ideal. You could be in this state of, you can totally dominate, do it. You're certain, it feels great. You can go and organize yourself. It feels good. 10's awesome. 0's not at all. You're going to procrastinate like crazy. Where would you rate yourself?
Like a 5 or 6.
Yeah. So tune in that 5 or 6. Where do you feel it?
Where do I feel 5 and 6? My heart.
Good. Tune into the heart. And I want you to ask that area, what are you afraid of? And what does it say?
Failure.
Good. And if failure had a color, what would it be?
It would be black.
Okay. This is going to feel uncomfortable, but just trust yourself and do it. Go ahead and feed it complete failure. Feed that heart space all the potential failure you could ever imagine. Surround it with the black, amplify it to where literally there is no more potential for failure because you failed at everything. Feed it, amp it up. Go big. This is your time to change right here, okay? Amp it up and let me know when you're done. Just keep feeding it. Give it permission to fail. Complete failure.
Okay, I'm pretty close to there.
Good. Just tap right there. Say, I'm going to fail.
I'm gonna fail.
And I'm going to fail as a mom.
I'm gonna fail as a mom.
I'm going to fail and starve and we're going to get kicked out.
Yep.
And that's okay.
It's okay.
I can still create what I want.
I can still create what I want.
And be at cause over this.
And be at cause over this.
Regardless of failure.
Regardless of failure.
Good. I have a choice in this.
I have a choice in this.
Good. While tapping, now we're going to align. So breath in through the nose. Out through the mouth. In through the nose. Out through the mouth. In through the nose. Out through the mouth. Pant. That's 1. That's 2. That's 3. And smile. And I'll share with you guys the science of why this works here in a second. Re-rate it. 0 to 10. 10 is feels great. You can totally dominate. No resistance. You can be ordered and not procrastinate. 0 is like total chaos. Where would you put it?
I feel like I'm at 5.
Okay, good. So tune into that resistance. Where do you feel it?
Feeling my job.
Good. Tune in. What's the decision that you need to make that's really holding this down?
Like trust in myself.
Good. So just tap there and say, I can trust in myself.
I can trust in myself.
Even if I've let myself down.
Even if I've let myself down.
And made bad decisions.
And made bad decisions.
I forgive myself.
I forgive myself.
And I can create new decisions.
And I can create new decisions.
With new outcomes.
With new outcomes.
And I can fully trust myself.
And I can fully trust myself.
And that's okay.
And that's okay.
Good. Go ahead and align. Breath in. And out. In. And out. In. And out. Pant. And smile. Good. Good. Okay, re-rate
Feel
it.
better now.
Yep. So where
Like a
re-rate it.
7.5, I'd say.
Good. Where do you feel that resistance?
Back in my heart.
Good. Tune into that heart space. What is it saying? If it needed to say something, what does it want to say?
Not good enough.
Good. Just tap it and say what's in there.
Feels not good enough. It feels dark and heavy. Like everything is weighing on me.
Good.
Yeah, and I just feel
Are,
like I need to trust the process. But
okay. Are you universe believer, God believer? Like what?
both universe,
Okay.
God,
Great. So just tap there and say, I can trust myself,
I can trust myself,
even if I'm not good enough.
even if I'm not good enough,
And I can trust God,
and I can trust God,
even if I felt like He let me down.
even if I feel like He let me down.
And I forgive Him and myself.
And I forgive Him and myself.
And I can create a new life
And I can create a new life
with new income
with new income
and be a shining example for my kid.
and be a shining example for my kid.
And that's okay.
And that's okay.
I can get the help I need.
I can get the help that I need.
And I'm not alone.
And I'm not alone.
Good. Go ahead and align. Breath in. 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 Here. And smile. Good. Okay, re-rate it. Think about 10 is ideal, 0 is not at all.
I feel like an 8. I feel like I'm feeling it in my fingers now. I'm feeling like a vibration.
Yep.
And in my arms. It's weird.
Yeah, totally crazy, right? So
Yeah.
what's happening is all this stuff is taking up space and energy. They're just addictions in the body. And as it's moving, it's literally like moving and you're feeling it. It's like tingling, like it's real. And
Yeah.
just like electricity is real, your emotions are real, your thoughts are real, they take up space and energy. And if that's in us, it robs us from the skill sets, from the things that we're working toward. And so these belief patterns, these feelings, they're there, they're real. They could have been there since childhood, and who cares? All we do care is let's shift it and go get the results. Like, right? And we don't need to know the root causes. We don't need to know who said what or why or the trauma or the drama or chase things or past life regression 100 times. You don't have to go through all the crazy stuff that I had to go through to try to get a change. You can literally change. And we've only been doing this like 10 minutes. So you're going from a place of like 2 all the way up to a 10. And we do it 2 more rounds, you'll be there.
Yeah.
Crazy, right?
Mm-hmm.
So let me ask this. Being in a state, even just an 8, what could you do now, thinking about your chart, thinking about being an example for your kid, thinking about like going and making money? In this state, what's possible?
I just feel like, yeah, being able to knock things off of this list and like being able to focus more clearly, like on my sections and cross them off. I've got a big and long to-do list, but I don't have to do all of it in one day. And yeah, I just feel, yeah, like a lighter load it's been taken off.
Isn't that crazy cool?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and that was just like 10 minutes of it. Imagine doing this consistently every day. Like, holy cow. Talk about unstoppable. Can we give her a huge round of applause? Well done, Catherine. Awesome job.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thanks
boom.
so much.
Well
I
done.
really appreciate it.
Oh, you're so welcome. This is so fun to me. I love this. So thank you, Catherine. Give her a huge hand. Yeah. So why does this process work? Well, what we're doing is the vocalizing the non-ideals or the ideals. Those are the addictions and the allergies. So you can do this on non-ideals. You can do this on allergies. You could drill, and I've tested this. You could drill positive affirmations for 5 to 10 minutes each day in huge peak states. Like I've done it all from walking on fire, board bricking, like screaming, yelling, meditating, 600 and something processes. You could spend every morning vocalizing your affirmations at a top level for 5 to 10 minutes for a month. Or you could do 10 minutes of aligning and you'll get more results through the alignment than through drilling it 10 minutes a day for a month. That's the craziness about this. Like crazy sauce. It's working because we're triggering the response. In a fight-flight response, the first thing to go is your breath. That's why we breathe into the nose, out to the mouth. You're doing a conscious calming breath. Second thing is we're calming the state. Then we go the opposite. So the panting puts it into a triggered response. So two opposites meet and neutralize. The panting does that. Then the tapping while doing it is like creating micro traumas around a macro trauma. So think about like a big trauma, like a rock in a pond, and then little rocks around the pond, two ripples, boom, they hit the wave and they neutralize it out. So that's why the tapping is so important. And then as you smile at the end, it releases endorphins and allows you to have it be a choice. So if you don't do it in that order and in that way, it doesn't work. It's very specific. So that's the basic version. There's 16 variations to this, which we don't have time to go through this on. But if you would like to learn more, start with my book. We'll drop that link again for you guys. Here's the Alignment Effect book. And you can follow me on YouTube. I have a bunch of videos that show you how. I do live challenges to show you guys in depth. We have mastermind programs, one-on-one, all sorts of stuff to get you ready. You can even get certified in this and do it on other people and help people change their lives. So we have a lot of things to help you. Yeah, that link, Albert, did you get it? The Alignment Effect on there. That has my book there. So you should be able to get that. I think my YouTube is Tyler Watson, I think. Something like that. Or Tyler J. Watson or Tyler Watson. So yeah. So you can look that up. Okay. Questions, and then I think we're wrapping up, right? Or oh man, we only got 1 minute left. Becky, do we have any time for anything? Or are we done?
Go for it if you want a quick answer, Donna.
Okay. Yeah. Anybody have Donna, did you have a question?
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Tyler. First of all, great presentation. I love your content that you provided to us. But what my question is kind of to take your process to the next level, to really make this a reality for yourself, to move through like the diagram that you've got literally behind you, to move through those transformations to get to that ultimate goal that you've defined for yourself. Okay, so what my question is that we as individuals have gone through your process and we've made ourselves a 10 at a particular state to move our goal along. What is your advice, especially if you're someone like me, for some of my goals where I don't feel that I've got the full skill set to really manifest the reality of achieving that goal? In other words, what my question is how can you address the mental I'm at a 10 versus the inconsistency of the reality of the situation to really make this real?
Good question. That's why there's two parts of the equation. So as you get yourself into that 10, then an action will come. So there's 7 steps of, there's 7 A's of transformation. So these are 7 A's of transformation. 7 A's, we're going to do it real fast. 7 A's of transformation. 7 A's, first is allergies. So these are the ideals that you want. So it's getting in your ideal. So that's the thing you're allergic to. Then addictions, which are the things that are non-ideal that are happening in your current reality. Then there's altering. We didn't go through this step, but it's a whole redefining process to alter the meanings behind stuff. Then we do the alignment, which we did a micro version of today, so a little baby version. And then you go into the anchor, which we didn't do. This locks it in and keeps it from shifting if you're in a non-ideal state that throws it off. And then you act. You go take an action. So the action tests it. So if you have a skill set that's not ideal, you'll be led to the right skill set that's in integrity of the thing that you just aligned to. So for example, when I was a massage therapist and I wanted to make $10,000 in a month, that wasn't a good skill set for me because I was charging $15 an hour. I had some money issues. So to create $10,000 meant I would have to work like 100 hours a week. It was insane. So the skill set was not good. But as I got myself into a state of alignment, I had to work through the resistance to let go of a skill set that I thought was working and adopt a new skill set. And then I had to work through all that resistance towards embracing a whole nother skill set. So no matter what, it'll either get you the skill set you need or it'll amplify a skill set you already have if you do it in this way. So you align with purpose. It's not just get yourself in a peak state and then,
right.
everything works.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Okay.
That's not how it works. It's get yourself into a peak state consistently in your actions towards the thing you want. And if it's off, that's going to cause frustration, right? The first thing, because frustration is faulty philosophy plus hard work. So the frustration is going to kick in, which means you're going to change how you're going towards it. Then a whole new subset of resistances is going to come up. Like, I can't do this. I can't learn it. I don't know how. You're going to have a lot more resistance. And then you just shift all of that. You embrace the skill set as fast as possible. You go do it, and then you go get the result.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah,
that really
great
clarifies
question.
it.
Yeah, awesome question. Give her a hand. Awesome job. Thanks, guys, for joining me today. Did you guys have fun? If so, give me a thumbs up. Yeah? Okay. So there's a lot more to this. What I did was just a little sample. I do this daily. I work on myself. Like I was just working on my wife. I work on my kids. I eat, breathe, and sleep with this stuff. It's my thing. I love it. So there's a lot to learn. We have like 6 months of training that we take people through to get really good at it. And there's little courses that you can take, simple things that are just like a week long to get good at simplicity, right? Change is simple. It can happen in minutes and it's in your body. One thing I want you to leave from here is anytime you're stuck, instead of just saying it's a block, I can't shift it, look at it differently and say, this is just an addiction or an allergy, and I can change this. This is just an addiction or allergy. I can change this. I don't have to settle for this. I don't just have to be okay having it be this way. Don't tolerate it. We get what we tolerate. You train yourself. And most of us have tolerated things at a low level. We want to get out of that state and allow yourself to shift. Oh, geez, I have a call right after this. All right, guys. Well, I'm over time. Thank you guys so much for joining. This was awesome. Glad to meet you. And yeah, if you want to be in my ecosystem, grab that. There's my YouTube channel. Thanks, Becky. And join my email list. Just plug in. And we do free challenges every month. Like I just try to get you guys as much education as possible so that this can become a habit and you can start seeing it differently. You see yourself differently. You operate at a higher level without the resistance. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much. Thanks, Becky. And thanks, Catherine, for being willing and shifting. That was an awesome job. Well done.
Hey, everybody. I want to say thank you so much for going over our time today. It was very valuable and worth every minute. Tyler, phenomenal call. Such a fun call to partake in. Your energy is amazing. And I'm so grateful for everybody's engagement in this call today. It definitely made it that much more phenomenal. Catherine, huge shout out to you. I felt the shift in you and I admire your strength and I know that you are going to just conquer this world. So proud of you. Everybody, thank you for being here today. We have these calls every week on Tuesday at 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern. We'd love to see you next time. Thanks again. Have a great day, everyone. Bye.